Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I've been to this rodeo a few times, and anytime that's why I've been saying I was waiting for an opportunity to buy a dip, and we were at $3 this morning or so. Now we're at $2.91. Market's pulled back a little bit. I don't even know what the reasons are why. It's irrelevant to me. What's relevant to me is the things that I know are coming, but what I plan on doing, not at 291, but if this thing goes down into the 280s, maybe 270s, I've got my money sitting there on the sidelines. And the way I do it, I'm going to send my broker at Caleb and Brown an email. It's the only place I'm aware of you can do that. And I'm going to say, take all that cash I got sitting there and buy XRP with all of it. And then within 5 minutes, typically, I get a trade order. I get a PDF with all the entire cost breakdown of everything, and I go on my merry way. I don't have to log into anything. I don't do any of that stuff. Nice and simple. I love it. If you want to open a Caleb and Brown account, they are my partner. You can go to XRPwealth589.com. You can even keep your hard. You can open an account, keep your hard wallet if that's how you prefer to do it, and just send XRP on into your account to when you want to trade. Or you can buy XRP on Caleb and Brown and then send it out to your hard wallet if that's what you want to do. I use their free institutional grade custody myself, and I love it. Go to XRPwealth589.com and click on sign up today if you're interested in having an account. Zach Rector makes a really good point here. I've seen a lot of this garbage. He says lots of new people came in this year and had unrealistic expectations for XRP this year, $1,000 by the end of the year, that kind of stuff. This combined with poor economic conditions on Main Street has created a very frustrated retail XRP trader. I just hope they vent their frustration without actually selling, because the institutions and ETFs are inevitable. Just a matter of letting the government shutdown pass. Yeah, all this business of crazy numbers by the end of 2025, I've always had in my mind, I'd like it if we could get a $10 to $20 XRP by the end of the year. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to think about with everything that's going on, but to move into the thousands by the end of the year is, to me, that's kind of silliness. Now, does that mean it can't go there over time? No. That's part of the reason I'm here. But here's what the catalyst we do have coming. Fed rate cut October 15th. That's what they think is going to happen. Spot XRP ETF October 18th through 25th. Ripple Bank license October 28th through the 30th. Clarity Senate markup late October. Clarity floor vote early November. Swell conference 4th through 5th. ISO 222 go live November 22nd. We have all the reasons in the world to be bullish, folks. Here come the American blue chips. This is from Chad Steingraber. S&P Dow Jones launches Digital Markets 50 Crypto Index Fund. Dow Jones Indices launch S&P 500 Digital Markets 50. The index will exposure to digital assets, diversified exposure to digital assets. No single asset will exceed 5%. So that must mean that Bitcoin's no longer going to be 70%. I think I predicted that percentage would come down. Now, this is the S&P Dow Jones Crypto Market Index, and so you have to wonder if these are the digital assets that will be in there. XRP is a shoe-in. Now, I don't care what the investment is. I don't even care if it's XRP. If anybody comes out and tells you that an investment is going to go up forever, they're giving you a red flag. They're literally stamping a red flag on your face. And if you don't see it, all I'm telling you, and I'm not saying Bitcoin's not going to do well. I think Bitcoin's going to do well. I think it's going to experience the same thing, not the same thing, but it's going to experience the upside of what's coming and everything, maybe for an extended period of time. But nothing, I don't care what the investment is, nothing goes up forever, period.
Bitcoin is the very simple story. They are never going to stop printing money, so therefore Bitcoin will never stop going up. And if you simply think of Bitcoin as savings technology, all you have to do is go out, work hard at your job, make money, spend less than you make, and then put the extra savings into Bitcoin, and then allow Bitcoin to benefit from what we know is going to happen, which is they are never going to stop printing money. And I think that simplicity is actually very attractive to some cohort of investors. And now you see investors saying, wait a second.
You don't need to hear any more of that garbage. You get the point. Now, imagine being a grown man and still believing that Bitcoin is going to disrupt governments. Now, maybe I worded that wrong. I think that crypto in general is a disruptive technology. But that disruption, make no mistake, the government has been involved in that disruption from the word go. And governments around the world, and probably 3-letter agencies, and I think they intentionally wanted to paint this, make people think it was a libertarian movement and it was their idea. But this guy still believes that somehow Bitcoin is this thing created by God and it was a gift, libertarian gift to the world. To me, that is the most naive thing on planet Earth. He thinks that somehow Bitcoin is this only thing. It's silliness. It's childlike.
Well, there's not much disruptive or anti-establishment about non-Bitcoin crypto, again, because it's central.
Bitcoin is not anti-establishment. That lie, I can't believe this guy's a grown man and believes that lie. This was, at a minimum, even if a random guy did create it, it was co-opted. Roger Ver wrote a book on it.
Centralized because the government can tell them to do whatever they want, and they have offices and they have companies and management teams and roadmaps and all of that. So they're all basically just centralized. That goes for Ethereum and Solana and Ripple and all of these. So the end game for them has always been a desire to be co-opted by Wall Street and the government and to become part of the system. That's their goal. And that goes for the crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken. Like they want to become banks and Wall Street financial firms. That's their goal, is to be added to the existing system. So there's nothing really surprising about what's gone on the past few years. It was always the only way out for them, because again, you can only fool a retail audience into believing that you're decentralized for so long when you're not. And so once the market kind of figures out, oh wait, never mind, these are just kind of tech companies of some sort, and maybe there's a reason for the asset to exist, maybe there's not, but they're going to end up becoming financial firms.
Okay, Peter Schiff says the financial media continues to perpetuate the false narrative that Bitcoin is digital gold. Every time they mention gold, they interject Bitcoin. This is either because they've bought into the con themselves or because they're beholden to their crypto industry advertisers. And I said, or because they created it or co-opted it. Now, we've been telling you for years, no utility, no value. Brad Garlinghouse has said it probably hundreds of times. They have taken Bitcoin. It was supposed to be payments. It's in the white paper. And it failed as payments, and so they started changing the narratives. It was going to be store of value. Now it's called digital gold. They created these narratives because it doesn't have utility, but it can have utility if you put it on the XRP ledger. And so, but here, the main premise is this idea that somehow crypto is going to usurp governments and is disruptive in that kind of way. That's child stuff, folks. That's not the real world. The real world is, the government is going to put their arms around this, and they're going to control the exit ramps, and you're going to get taxed on it, and that's the real world. That's how adults think. Anybody telling you otherwise needs to grow up. Christine Lagarde is trying to be as nice as she can be, and it's not just her. This is all governments.
You mentioned that that you think that it has no intrinsic value, which I personally do not agree.
When you were as a guest on College Tour 3 years ago, I asked you what you think of cryptocurrency and bitcoins, and this is what you had to say at the time.
I actually have a son who invested in cryptos, yes. So I follow very carefully.
And what have you taken away from that?
That I would not put my finger in there. I've said all along that crypto assets are highly speculative, very risky assets. I'm concerned about, those people who assume that it's going to be a reward, who have no understanding of the risks, who will lose it all, and who will be terribly disappointed, which is why I believe that should be regulated. My very humble assessment is that it is worth nothing. It's based on nothing. There is no underlying assets to act as an anchor of safety.
Ooh, let me translate. You can't build anything on Bitcoin. You can't tokenize. You can't create tokens. What can you do that on? The ones that are going to have utility are the ones that they're going to be able to build all these stable coins on. The ones that are going to be able to tokenize real world assets. Those are going to have the real anchors. Bitcoin doesn't have that.
If the day when we have the central bank digital currency out, any digital euro, I will guarantee. So the central bank will be behind it. And I think that's vastly different from any of those things. I could repeat exactly the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just asking because do you know the value of the Bitcoin then? This is in May 2022.
I know.
And
Look,
to tease you a little bit, we got the
graph.
This is the graph.
Yeah.
So this is, let me point it out, this is like May 2022 when we spoke to you. 35,000, I think, for one Bitcoin, and now it's over 100,000. So your son, is he crying all the way to the bank with his crypto?
He doesn't want to talk to me about these things anymore. He was very upset that I spoke about him.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have no idea where he is right now?
People decide to invest in whatever they want to invest, but all I'm saying here, and I repeat it, is that there is no underlying value to it. It may well be that it prospers. It may well be that it lasts forever. But it may well be that it collapses as well. It's a risk. But, as long as you are aware, you are informed, you know that it could go down, you know that it could go up, that's your decision. But I'm not giving investment advice anyway. This is not for me to do that.
Hi, I'm Jordi, and I study economics, and I want to get back.
Okay, we've seen enough of that. Look at this. BNB flips XRP. I can already see the headlines. Is BNB the XRP killer? I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I know these people and how they try and manipulate the crypto market. It's easy to spot. Look at this. BNY Mellon is exploring tokenized deposits and blockchain-based payments per Bloomberg. And I said they're not exploring anything planned for a decade minimum. And I can prove it. I'm going to prove it in the group. BNY Mellon has been lurking for years in this business with affiliations with Ripple, and I'll show them to you in the group. Go to daixrp.com for the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these YouTube videos, or you can go to subscribe through X. Hit subscribe button. We do the full video plus the extended video with no commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family. Here we go.